of location. First, let's look at the basics. The theme of location in geography says where something is. It explains how we find it. There are two types of location. Relative location, which is what is near or close to the location, like for instance, what hemisphere something is in, what continent, what country. Using the compass rose directions to say that it's north of United States or south of Florida. Using famous landmarks or local landmarks, like I'm near the ice cream store. Absolute location is the exact location. That's using longitude and latitude to pinpoint the exact point on the planet. That's called coordinates, using coordinates. You could also use an exact address. Like you're going to mail a letter, it would go to the exact address. You wouldn't just mail it to my house at exit 7. That wouldn't be exact. Let's take a look. Location tells us where something is on the planet, where it is. When you're describing a location, you can either give the exact location or its near location or what it's close to. When you explain the exact location, that would be absolute location. When you describe what a place is near, that would be the relative location. Let's think about an example. Where is your school? Let's say that you were hanging out with a new friend from a different part of town. You want to explain where you go to school. You have a couple of options. You could explain the exact location, or you could just give the person an idea of where your school is compared to where something is that they know. So for instance, our school, the absolute location, you could tell your friend the address. My school is at 207 Manchester Street in Nashua, New Hampshire. You could also give the exact location by using the coordinates at 42 degrees north, 71 degrees west. But most times we don't compare or give this information to our friends and say the address of my school or the coordinates of my school. If you wanted to explain where your school was, chances are you're going to use relative location. You're going to tell your friend that your school's in North Nashua, or you might say your school is off of exit 7. Your school is behind the 99 restaurant, or your school is near the animal shelter. And you would keep giving examples of what something they might know that would be in relation to your school. Relative location is what it's in relation to. How can you remember that? Well, absolute location, it will absolutely get the person to the location. It's exact. The address is going to go exactly to one place. There's not going to be any guesswork. The coordinates are going to get you to exactly one place. There won't be any guesswork. But relative location, think about this, the word relative. Who are your relatives? They are people that you are the closest to. Your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your cousins, your uncles, your aunts. Those are your relatives. Those are family members that you are close to. So just remember that relative location is what's close to the location. It will get the person close to the location, but not exactly to that point. Let's look at some examples. Absolute location identifies the exact place, like the address or the coordinates using longitude and latitude. It gets you to the bullseye of the target. Whereas relative location is using time, distance, or direction. So here are some examples. Nashua is 45 minutes north of Boston. Our school is about a minute from the big one. Our school is near the community college, or I live behind the community college. I live a few streets away from Market Basket. I live a mile away from the school. I live in the northeast part of Nashua. We live in the Western Hemisphere. We live in New England. We live in New Hampshire. We live in Nashua. The movie theater is near the mall. Nashua is on the border of Massachusetts. All of these examples of relative location get the person nearby the target, but it doesn't hit the target exactly at the spot. So those are the differences between relative and absolute location. Please ask questions in class or watch the videos on your learning slide this week to learn more about the theme of location.